How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much. Always appreciate it. I am Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. The past couple of weeks have been pretty crazy for me. I started a new job about a month ago, and it's hard adjusting a shooting schedule trying to get these kinds of videos made around my new work schedule. And so, it's an adjustment. And so, because of that, and having to go out of town and stuff like that, like recently, I just got back from Southern California. And so, yeah, I haven't uploaded anything in the last couple of weeks. So, to the one or two of you out there that watch this, I apologize. But now it's time to talk about a movie starring a guy that is no longer with us anymore. Another movie icon and action movie legend, Chuck Norris, at the age of 86 on the 19th of March 2026, is no longer with us. He's passed on. And to be honest, now, I'm not the biggest Chuck Norris fan, but I did grow up with Chuck Norris. First time I ever saw Chuck Norris was in 1972's Return of the Dragon, or to some people, Way of the Dragon. For this video, I want to talk about a movie that I caught on cable late one night as a kid back in the day when I was channel surfing, and I came across a Chuck Norris movie from 1985, directed by Andrew Davis, director of Above the Law, Under Siege, and The Fugitive, among other movies. So, yeah, I had to check it out. Code of Silence. This movie, you have Chuck Norris as a Chicago cop, where you have a bunch of actors that you'll recognize from other Andrew Davis movies, like The Fugitive, like Above the Law, like the whole cast of Above the Law is in this movie, basically. Andrew Davis, the director, always knows how to shoot Chicago and get the best out of his shots when it comes to the way he shoots the city. And so the movie looks great and holds up, and the actors, all the supporting actors, do a great job in helping Chuck Norris look a lot better than he really was as an actor, because it's no secret Chuck Norris wasn't the best actor, but in this movie he puts in a really solid performance, and I do think it's in part to a lot of the supporting cast that really kind of elevate him. The action in the movie holds up very well. You have Chuck Norris chasing some guy, turns into a chase in a train, then on a train with what looks like Chuck doing some of his own stunts, and you also have a really cool car chase and badass shootouts. And throughout the film, they kind of build up his character's ability as a kick-ass martial artist. And although this isn't the kind of movie where you get lots of that, it's not really more of a martial arts movie, more of a movie with just Chuck Norris's character using a gun since he plays a cop. But there is one scene, one glorious scene, where he opens up a can of whoop ass against a room full of guys, and it is a sight to behold. It is tremendous. You get plenty of roundhouse kicks to the face action, and if that's what you're looking for, that's what you get. Also, the music score in this movie is pretty freaking awesome. Growing up, I always thought it was just James Newton Howard, since he scored a lot of Andrew Davis's movies, but no, my most recent rewatch, I noticed it was a guy named David Frank, who, I haven't seen a lot of movies with his music in it, but I wish he had done more movies, because killer music tunes. Aside from having a cool hero like Chuck Norris's character Eddie Cusack to root for, the movie also has an interesting enough plot with this gang war going on in Chicago when this mob boss disappears because he goes into hiding because he finds out they're coming after him. He completely leaves his family, and so when rival gangsters show up, kill his entire family except for his teenage daughter, and now she becomes a target, of course. And of course, Chuck Norris, Mr. Cusack, Eddie Cusack, has to step in. Another reason this movie works as a very good villain in Henry Silva's character, who also does a good job playing a bad guy in 1988's Above the Law, the film that launched the career of Steven Seagal, which came from the same director, Andrew Davis. And yeah, Henry Silva, he has a great presence and a great face, and also fun to watch in Dick Tracy and 1960's Ocean's 11 and 1963's Johnny Cool. Besides the main plot with Chuck Norris getting in the middle of a mob war, you also have a subplot going on with a colleague of Chuck Norris's character and a wrongful police shooting where somebody sees somebody plant a gun on someone, and you have the old guy from Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, the guy that actually is in that black and white old movie Angels with Filthy Souls, I believe, in Home Alone. Yeah, that old guy is in this playing a dirty cop, and so yeah, interesting little stuff that goes on there in the third act that kind of justifies why our main hero has to go it, alone. Like a lot of these movies usually have, our main hero in the third act going solo, kicking ass and everything. But yeah, it's really good. Actually, very clever how that B story is kind of interwoven with that A story. As much as I like this movie, though, as good as this movie is, there's one thing that holds this movie back. And, the 80s had this thing with robots. Robots was the craze, it was the thing in the 80s. You had Short Circuit, you had The Robot in Rocky 4, you had movies like Chopping Mall. Robots were a big thing. They kind of set it up early on. It's like voice activated or whatever, and it has sensors and it shoots missiles and rockets, and it comes in a pinch. It comes in handy by the end of it. And so the movie really didn't need it. Chuck Norris was more than enough in this movie. This is a movie that I would definitely recommend to somebody if they like a good action movie, not necessarily a martial arts movie because it doesn't have enough martial arts for a Chuck Norris movie, but it does have just enough to satisfy that kind of, that thirst if you are just wanting to watch a good solid movie with just a bit of it, a bit martial arts kind of sprinkled in for good measure. On my most recent rewatch of this, I had a really good time, and it was a lot of fun to revisit this movie after so many years, since I hadn't seen it since I was a young kid, and to watch it with a pair of adult eyes. It's actually pretty cool to see how well it still holds up, even though it's a bit on the old side now, because what, 85, so now, yeah, over 40 years old, but still really good movie. I give it 3 stars. Since I have been watching a lot of Chuck Norris movies recently, it did get me thinking about what would be my own top 10 best Chuck Norris movies list, and so look out for that video coming out pretty soon. But yeah, for now, it's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching this classic movie review. I appreciate you watching. Those of you that are new to the channel, if you're into this kind of thing, if you like what you see, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for more reviews from me coming out soon. If you're a returning viewer, I thank you for your views and your support. It's always appreciated. Please don't forget to comment, share, like. It always helps. Go ahead and leave me your own comments of maybe like your favorite Chuck Norris memes or your favorite Chuck Norris movies, or go ahead and leave me your favorite Chuck Norris Walker Texas Ranger episode in the comment section if you feel like it. Me personally, I always loved when Conan O'Brien would pull that lever on his old show, and you'd see clips of Walker Texas Ranger and some of the best moments of those episodes, I'm sure. But yeah, gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for watching. Everybody take care of each other. Peace out. God bless.